My friend and myself went to a famous restaurant on Body Lawn in Ikoyi. 47,000.
Just for
Nigerian food, though. It's not some Italian or Chinese. No. Nigerian food.
that's what we see.
And guess what? The food was horrible. In fact, I need to get the authorities to go there because my friend had serious constipation and I had a running stomach.
Oh my God.
Yes.
These are the days to eat at home.
These are the days.
Eat
So
at
yesterday when you were asking if anybody, I said, I can't afford to entertain people in my house. I can't afford to. It's amazing the situation that we are in. It's quite frustrating.
So there's, if you want something nice, you just go on YouTube and learn how to make it yourself.
You take your mind off it.
Yeah. Uncle Jimmy, good
Man
morning to you.
Man can live on water and gari.
Maybe not.
As long as you're alive and well. Okay.
Uncle Jimmy,
Anyway,
good morning to
thanks
you.
for yesterday.
You're looking 1 year younger.
There's a secretive. I can't tell you. Now.
You tell me now.
You don't want everybody looking younger. I hope people are so just like you're off the competitive line.
All right, then. Good morning to all of you. So let's start with the Vanguard this morning. You've chosen to look at the tariff hike on the front page of Vanguard. It says tariff hike. 20% of Band A users got prepaid meters.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Kofi. Okay, so we are talking about lights. Or let's just say we are talking about NEPA, so that you understand what we're talking about. And it says that the operators have said, one, prepaid meters are not available. Indeed, whether prepaid or postpaid, I honestly don't know how you can be metering anybody without a meter. You know, it's one of the craziest things that we do in this country. How do you judge that? You just say, oh, okay, this building is 5 rooms. Therefore, there'll be 5 air conditioners. What a silly thing to do. Highly unprofessional. And we've condoned it for so long. Why don't you must provide meters? And I'm surprised the government hasn't insisted. Well, they couldn't have because they didn't set any good example when it was NEPA anyway. And we continue to torment our people. You know, we continue to torment our people with this. And it says that prepaid meters are not readily available. The operators said that. Fear of estimated billings haunt businesses, especially SMEs. I mean, anybody who doesn't have a fear of estimated billing, we need to find out his source of income. In all honesty, it's a fear that all of us have. I've seen people traumatized, especially at the lower end. You know, and it's a source of corruption. So what they do at the local whatever is, they give you a high bill, then you have to go back to go and negotiate. We condone this. I would have thought that we would have a law that says that if you don't have a meter, you cannot be billed. I would love that. For as long as you don't have a meter, why should we have this shortage of meters, Kofi? Long before Jonathan's government will be having shortage of meters. Is this something we're going to live with for the rest of our lives? You know, and it also now, because the price of this, electricity apparently is going up, especially for Band A, the so-called Band A customers. Okay, the labor people now want to adjust their demand by 300%. The labor should get serious.
The demand for
I'm not happy with the way the labor movement is handling this issue of minimum wage.
Okay, minimum wage.
It's so pedestrian. It's so unprofessional. You expect check out labor organizations in other countries. Experienced people. You have proper research departments. But say because the lights have gone up, you now say you adjust your demand by 300%. I wonder if these labor people have some kind of compromise with government and have turned us into little kids to toy around with.
Probably.
Because they are completely unserious.
Probably.
I don't trust unions in this country anyway. Students' union, labor union, professional bodies. What's the name? Doctors' union.
Sociocultural.
All these and all these. I don't trust any one of them. Because it's become, in all honesty, a very profitable business venture. If you've lost your job, set up some kind of pressure group. You can, because it is difficult for you to convince me that labor is not hand in glove with the government. I've always thought about that anyway, from way back. But the story says that 1 week into the electricity tariff regime, information from NERC has indicated that 20% of consumers categorized as band A. Well, I congratulate myself. In my living area, we were supposed to be in band A, but God has been kind to us. They have moved us to band B. If you were privy to the group chat of the 24 of us, of the 24 residents, you will laugh. There was so much panic, but God has been merciful. We've been moved to band B. We don't want any panic.
It's become a prayer point.
It's become a prayer point.
Lord, may you move me to band B.
So you said that 20% of consumers categorized as band A do not have prepaid meters. A major factor in determining the actual use. You see, because if you have prepaid meters, what do? You load. When it finishes, it finishes. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That one not get argument inside. You load the whatever, you use as you can manage. But it says here that they do not have prepaid. Consequently, consumers will be made to pay on estimated billing. That is highly irresponsible.
My God.
That in 2020, is that mean 24, 25? I mean, they ought to go to next year. Yeah. That in 2024, you will be billing. In fact, it's illegal. In fact, it is dishonest. It is dishonest. So you want your employer to say that I'm thinking that how much will I pay you this month? You might not be able to come to work. There will be go slow on this and that day. On Friday, I'm sure you want to go to the mosque. Who does that?
Terrible.
Okay.
Uncle Jimmy, just to add, maybe those who are not on prepaid meters may be praying or rejecting 24 hours power supply because it may be, unbearable for them. Come again. Those on that band A who do not have meters, they may not even want to have 24 hours power supply. They may reject it, because
no. For instance, you estimate. I think that I might be in my house 24/7. No, it could be my house. It could be a guest house that I go to sleep 2 hours in a day. I've had friends who live far, and I have apartments. Of course, for other uses that we cannot sit on radio, but I have apartments. They're there 2-3 hours a day. You must allow people control their usage and the money they spend.
So do you know what one of these distribution companies told me?
Yes.
In the presence of DSS.
Yes.
What they said
wait. Why DSS?
A long story.
Okay, but go on.
We got frustrated with that.
But go on. DSS.
So they said that when they have their how much they meant to pay to the transmission company.
So they now divide by number of.
So when those of you on prepaid meters do what you do, not you, but some of us on prepaid meters do what we do, and can't meet the target or the budget or what they paid for, they have to make up that money. What is they add everything?
What kind of crazy?
And they divide it amongst the estimated billing people, those who have meters.
Yes.
And then they have them pay. That's why some people who have estimated bills.
Yes.
You see that the bill will be outrageous. You can't even reconcile it.
There's nothing called estimated billing. If you are going to estimate any billing at all, you must let me use the light for about 6 months, and you can take an average. Doesn't that make more sense to you? Because when I asked the days of NEPA, what is estimated billing? They say, okay, this house is 5 rooms. Each room will have AC. They will have electric cooker. They will have electric. That is imbecilic and criminal. Why haven't you ever heard anybody saying that I've been underbilled through estimated billing? The complaint is always about overbilling.
It's always overbilling.
And let's I think the point has been made, and my advice, I'm going to read the reaction of the NLC. I'm so ashamed. I wonder why Paul Ajero, is his name? Is it Paul Tony Ajero, whatever his name is allowing this happen under his watch? The gentleman used to be a journalist. I remember. I think they said he was in Vanguard.
Ajero?
Yes.
Okay, I thought he was the power sector.
Yes, but apparently one time I think somebody keeps telling me that he was in Vanguard when I don't remember.
He's preoccupied with Labour Party.
But I know it's almost become an alawada. The things that have happened to Labour Congress under his watch, extremely embarrassing. It's the first Labour president I've seen that will be beaten up in such a manner. That tells you something.
All right, so let's stay with the Vanguard. We go to Lagos Island and Dosomu Street. 4 buildings collapse in Lagos Market Fair.
This headline should read another 4. You understand what I'm saying? It should read another 4. 4 buildings collapse. It's a fire raised some buildings in Dosumu Idumota Market, Jankara, resulting in the collapse. You know the buildings are built back to back.
Oh, I see.
There are some buildings side by side in Lagos Island. They can't open their windows at the same time.
My God.
There are some buildings in Lagos here. If you don't believe me, when you are driving down Akpongpong, look to your right and look to your left. Especially if you are headed towards mainland, look to your left. There are some buildings you can loan your neighbor a toothbrush from the window. Yes. I wonder how they live in such places. We have allowed this irresponsibility go on for too long. Idumota is a disaster waiting to happen. The Idumota, Balogun, and all those areas. And I know it is a very tough political decision for the governor, but that's why we elected him. If there were no strong decisions to be made, we would have put a stances person there.
So what is the solution?
The solution is that you have to rearrange that whole area.
Yeah.
It's been done before. When Eco Bridge was being built, people were moved from there to Sulere. That's why Sulere is called New Lagos. My grandmother was one of them.
I see. What year was that?
I think it was 66 or so. They were moved. You see this area you call Shita. All those people are Lagos Island people. They moved them there and gave them, I think it was a 25-year lease.
Oh, I see.
So you pay small, you have a card.
Oh, I see.
All those Sweno, those areas. And they were nice. I mean, I'd spent vacations there. They were nice neighborhoods we need to do something drastic about Lagos Island. Like I said, it's a disaster waiting to happen. I tell you this. We shouldn't continue to think that we are immune from some of the natural disasters, because the world is changing. There's been some tremors reported somewhere in Ogun State and whatever. So we need to be careful. Any small, whether it's a typhoon, hurricane, or whatever you have in that whole area, it will be the biggest calamity that ever befell us. Plus the fact that the buildings themselves are not well put together.
Sir,
they're put together by these so-called developers.
Sir, did you see the video of the building collapsing live on TV?
How can I look at it?
Oh,
you are a strong man. I'm not.
It was on one of these television stations, News Central. The lady was reporting live, and while she was reporting live on TV, the thing collapsed.
The thing collapsed. Yes.
It means the buildings are not even strong.
I can't even look at such things. You walk on TLA. You can. The story. I actually saw the video. The story says that goods and property worth millions of naira were destroyed. Obviously, one of the traders collapsed. The affected buildings were used for commercial and residential. A building that is put together by a developer for residential purposes cannot stand the pressure that we put them to. They can't. Another area that bothers me is places like Idioro, Alaba. You know, it's going to be a very strong decision that the government would have to take. But there's no running away from it.
Are these places that are residential converted to markets?
Yes.
Okay.
Now that's what it is.
Will they add a Ikeja to that? Because some parts of Ikeja now are.
Well, I mean, we're just making examples of those that have a high concentration. You find them everywhere. Name it. They're everywhere.
Uncle Jimmy,
Ojo?
I somehow, there's a part of me that feels really sad each time I drive through the CBD. You know, I feel really sad because it looks like Lower Manhattan. You know, you see all those high-rise buildings, but everywhere's become a slum.
It's a slum. And so that's what they have. The governor has ordered indefinite closure of Dosumu markets. Maybe this is a good place to start. There is no way the governor has to take a very firm decision because there will be enough reasons for him not to. Most of those reasons will be commercial. We should stop looking at figures and look at human lives. Okay, we should stop for once. Stop looking at business and money. Let's look at human lives. Let's put an emphasis. There is no amount of money that can replace a human life. And that lots of human life should be at the barest minimum. So anyway, the order of closure of Dosumu market would include Dosumu, Nnamdi Azikiwe, Mashalashi, Woro Pedro, Obanikoro Streets, Agotawa, Idumagbo Avenue, Idumagbo, Idioluwo, and Ojuolobo streets. And the closure is indefinite. So I suspect that the government now probably wants to do. They can use the most of those places don't have the proper building permits, and you can use that as a base. It sounds crude. The people will say, what about the money invested? What about the lives that will be lost?
So are you looking at Balogun as well?
Sorry, it didn't say Balogun here.
No, I'm talking about going forward.
Going forward, definitely. Definitely. You have to restructure Lagos Island. You have to. There's no point. I'm not going to run away from saying it. You have to. I'm not one who places a premium on money, maybe because I'm not a businessman. But all this, there'll be money lost, money lost. What about the human lives?
All right.
So for emphasis, for you to know, in case you're doubting, the governor has ordered the immediate closure of Dosumu Market and environs, and the markets affected include Dosumu, Nnamdi Azikiwe, Moshalashi, Woro Pedro, Woro Pedro, Obanikoro Streets, Agotawa, Idumagbo Avenue, Idumagbo Idioluwo, and Ojuolobo Streets.
All right, so we'll talk some more about that by 8. Maybe you can stay back if you
want
to go and rest. Okay. Okay, I said we shoot my shot. Let's talk about Uncle Jimmy, but you can stay now. Why are you going back?
I say I'm not staying back. I have a date. Somebody is taking me for that.
Wow. All right, sir.
I'm allowed to have a date.
Who am I to be?
Who are you to talk? Who are you, Ray?
Let's look at more in The Guardian. On page 3.
Yes.
We regret voting Tinubu in 2023, say Northern leaders.
Isn't that interesting? I don't have sympathy for anybody who says he regrets voting anybody, because the parameters were there for you, for any reasonable man to see. And this story is, and I'm surprised it's not making front page. It's on page 3 of The Guardian. It says that the Northern Elders Forum has registered the region's regret for pitching tent with Bola Tinubu in the 2023 elections. It said the mistake of voting for the then APC has taught the North a lesson. They will still vote in 2027. Do you know why? Most of these organizations, they are there for their own personal idiosyncrasies. They are there for their own personal gain. I can imagine what went down in that region. We have a fair idea of what could have gone down. So in 2027, the same mistake will be made. Because you'll be voting, either you'll be voting for somebody because he compromised you, or you'll be voting against somebody because he comes from a particular region and you just don't like him. And all of us will learn these lessons until we learn to do the right thing. When people come up and say, for example, Jimi Disu doesn't like the president, I don't have to like him. I'm only interested in my interest in what he's doing. And my interest is simply that the country should be run so I can be comfortable. Whether I like him or not, he's not going to put food on my table.
Exactly.
I mean, now I go to a supermarket, at my age, at my level, with my income, I'm struggling with myself to buy a packet of biscuits. Do you understand? People need to get these things. So this kind of that they have is what I would say. I'll say it serves them right. Some things were so glaring. It's unbelievable, the kind of decisions that we took. Now they're saying that they said that they're lamenting, especially when it comes to insecurity. And the elders said that the recent abduction of Kuriga school children in Kaduna indicate that the current administration has failed to protect Nigerians just a few months in office. Sometimes I'm inclined to believe that these so-called kidnappings are planned. Could have been planned to make the president himself look bad. It looks like he's a racket. I'm objective in these things. If you have your regrets, fair enough. But I'm not going to judge him on security matters, because there is so much intrigues going on there that are beyond the poor gentleman. When I say poor gentleman, I don't mean that he's a poor man. Tinubu cannot be a poor man. you know. I heard Baba just moved into his new house in there.
This one, that new one.
To the palace. To the palace. Yes.
When you were talking about your income and how you can't afford things,
yes.
Each time you say the thing, whoever calls your mind is Dele Momodu.
No, I don't want to personalize. Just leave him out of
modest income.
No,
All
just
right.
leave it. I mean, I'm talking serious business.
Yes, yeah.
I'm not talking. This is not a comedy.
Yeah. Sorry, sir.
So it's not a comedy.
My God.
In a chat with the Guardian, Abdulaziz Suleiman said, going forward, the region will now prioritize unity and consensus in selecting a candidate for the highest office in the land. Really? So what were the parameters that you used before? That I'd like to know. But we are being told by the Guardian that in the 2023 general elections, Tinubu polled 8.7 million votes, total votes, to be declared president. Northeast, Northwest, and North Central gave the president a combined ballot of 5.4 million. Okay, so responding to a question on the recent visit and donation by Peter Obi to northern communities, Suleiman stated, the North made a mistake in voting Bola Tinubu to the presidency.
Wow.
So the question was, in responding to a question on the recent visit by Peter Obi to northern communities, the Suleiman now said the North made a mistake in voting Bola Tinubu to the presidency in 2023, and it is unlikely that they will repeat the same error in the future. Listen again. He said this in response to a question on Peter Obi's visit. That was his answer.
Wow.
So is he saying now that they would have voted for Peter Obi? I leave that to you to interpret. He says that they have learned from their past misstep and will strive to select a candidate who can unite the country and govern in the best interest of all Nigerians. Moving forward, the North will be more cautious in selecting a candidate for the presidency. They will not. They will not. They will still fall into the same trap. You know Nigerians' major problem? Greed. Greed and selfishness.
Wow.
Greed.
Wow.
It says that they will prioritize someone who is seen as more inclusive, less controversial, and more aligned with the interests of all regions of the country. The mistake of supporting Tinubu in 2023 has taught them the importance of unity and consensus in selecting a candidate for the highest office in the land. You know how President himself, what we accuse Buhari of, my Yoruba people are they're on a roll now. But I'm not with them on that. I'm not. It doesn't mean anything to me. It doesn't put food on my table. What it also does is alienates other. For you to move a country forward, everybody must be united. I would imagine that in the financial sector, for example, those who are not of Yoruba origin will not be putting in their best. We need to tell ourselves these home truths. We just need to.
They feel alienated.
I feel alienated. Fill the place with friends and associates, and you want other people to move along with you? Of course not.
Okay.
But there are lessons to be learned, and we learn every day.
But is it this man? I don't know if he's speaking for himself. Who says
is that?
The gentleman, the Shaibo?
That's easy to know.
Because
in another 24 hours, there should be a press release saying that no, he's speaking for himself.
Because I saw a story yesterday or so where one northern politician or group says Obi should stop, commissioning substandard boreholes in the north.
At times of politics, you would always have things like this happening. But he is the spokesperson for the Northern Elders Forum. That's his position.
Okay.
Or like we call the PRO. So if PRO says something, we assume he's talking about. But if it's not, of course, a denial will come within 24 hours.
Time will tell.
And these people know how to organize a rebuttal.
They do.
One area you cannot fault Bola Tinubu is in that of politics. You will see what will happen.
Let's stay with the Guardian. With the Guardian, Olubadan designate Ola Kulehi not fit to rule now, says Otun Balogun. I know you deliberately selected that. That was intentional.
You should have learned from Sheriff. If I set a trap for him, he'll just hand the paper over to me.
I'm learning.
Okay, so what is happening in Ibadan really is that the Olubadan has passed away, and apparently the next in line has health challenges. So what do you do? And Ibadan is structured in such a way that you have option A, next in line. If it's not whatever, you move to option B. They have a sequence. And I think those who are in the line, in the queue, they're getting a bit impatient that we need to move this thing up. What I will say is that a man is sick doesn't mean he's dead. Okay, and the traditional ruler, the bulk of his work really is symbolic. So I will advise two things. You can install him as he is, or because you see, it is un-African for you to think that because he's sick he might die. And I don't know what their constitution says, how you move somebody who is in line. Are you going to move him aside? What if he gets well? So I'd advise everybody to be patient. Ibadan will not come to an end because you can't install an Olubadan just yet. Be patient. Let's see if the man will recover. If on his own, out of wisdom or whatever, he now says, I can't continue, then you move on to the next line. But it's going to be extremely difficult to push him out of that line. And I think the government, who is going to give the final approval, needs to make a statement on that. Now, mark you, let me quickly add that I am not versed in the traditions of picking traditional rulers anywhere in the country, including my own Lagos here. Where, for me to boast again, to the likes of Kofi, I'm a double barrel language. but from
let's not go into details.
Let's go to but from what I can see, I would say, look, for God's sake, be patient. Give yourselves at least a month, 2 months. It is said that he showed up at one screening of some sort, but that he was ill. So be patient. Are you saying that he's going to die? Does he have a certification that is going to lead to his death? Person who is sick today is going to get well tomorrow. Don't we all fall sick?
All right.
I'd say that let's exercise some patience in that way.
All right. So we're almost out of time. Do we do Dear Bumi, the news?
No, you don't do Dear Bumi. I'm keeping it for...
You're keeping that.
That one is keeping for 9 o'clock.
Okay. So let's take some news tidbits. We don't have too much time.
Yes, okay. Let's take some tidbits. There. Okay, EFCC nabbed 8 for alleged crude oil theft in Akwa Ibom. The story of the fire is here. Some 9-year-old girl that was missing in Lagos has been found in Ogun. Minors defilement. NGO accused police of compromise. Again. We don't have time to look at that. Ponzi scheme. Lagos traders resolve alleged 600 million naira fraud case. Missing lawyers corpse found in Imo forest. Assembly probes 1.9 billion fraud allegation against LTDA chair. Caution drivers when speeding. Last man tells passengers. Yes, you should always do that. If you're a passenger in a vehicle and the driver is going completely out of hand, you should caution him. Then Lagos State removes illegal restaurant from drainage set back. Those are the stories.
Right.
I think we have to go.
All right. At 9 o'clock, we have Dear Movie.
Oh, yes, we have.
All right. My favorite time of the week.
Your favorite time of the week.
Okay. And the news today is up next. Uncle Jimi, thank you so very much for your time.
You're welcome.
All right. And we'll talk about the Lagos State Dosomo Street Market fire at 8 o'clock.
Okay, that's fine.
Yes. Enjoy your date.
I will.
All right.
It's 8. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens.